Hey, welcome to the Brisbane Small Business Show. And today we've actually got Steve Yankee. Now, Steve, is Yankee the right pronunciation? Or have I just stuffed it up along the way?
It's correct for German, but we're in Australia, so I call myself Janky, or at least.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry, I was being overly German there. You'd assume from that quick little discussion that I don't know Steve very well, which would be very far from the truth. I've known Steve for a couple of years now, and we've interacted over a number of different things. He's helped me a lot with the SEO of our BSB community listing, so the website that we have. He's also been a great contributor into the group on a regular occasion. So, Steve, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, because not everyone knows who you are. You just this strange voice that pops up from time to time to some people. So help them understand who you are.
Cool. So I'm Steve. I have a background in nursing and psychology. When I was studying psychology, I found it really interesting from a social psychology perspective, and gained an interest in that and started going down the marketing route. I also started developing websites back before it was cool in 1999. Didn't think much.
It's still not cool. Okay. Sorry, website developers, but you're not as cool as you think you are. Ask the accountants, they'll tell you. So
it all sort of snowballed in there. So I've got a little bit of nursing, a little bit of psych, a little bit of web design, and it's all bundled together into this nice little package.
Cool. Now we've had lots of different marketing discussions over the time and everything, and it is really important. But one of the most important things, the whole point of marketing is to get noticed, yeah?
Absolutely.
And yet so many of us, and I'm guilty here, wherever I've got to put my hand up, I keep getting confused on that, put out content that Facebook or Google doesn't really love.
Yeah.
And you want to help people fix that particular problem, yeah?
Yeah. I think that's a good place to start any discussion, really.
So Steve's actually got a little presentation for us. He's been far more professional than I normally am on these types of things. So Steve, help us understand, how do we get noticed, either on Facebook or by Google, or even just get noticed by the audience that we're trying to talk to at any point in time?
So it's about adding value, really. But one of the ways that you can do that is through a blog post, and Google will really start to take notice, and you can share those blog posts on your Facebook as well. So you're developing all of this content, which Google and Facebook will appreciate. But most of the time, are we on the presentation now, Kevin?
We are. Can't you see on the screen the big thing there?
Oh, yeah.
Now it's saying that. You're hidden now, Steve.
Good. So generally, people will develop a basic post which looks somewhat like this. It's got a title, because everyone knows that everything has to have a title, and then it's just a whole heap of content. It's just all written, and it doesn't look pretty. It's difficult to read. Half the time, you can't even understand what it's about, because it's just all clumped together. So today we're going to go through, without boring you to death, the structure of how you should structure your paragraphs, how you should structure your content, and then how you should structure your pages as well. So structuring a paragraph, we've got the topic sentence. So your topic sentence should be the first sentence. It introduces it as a statement. Then you've got the supporting evidence, so you back up that topic statement, and then you link to the next sentence. And I know there is a lot of written content on here, so I'll try and move through that quickly. But then, does this look better than that other blob of text?
Well, it does. It just depends on where you're going to put this, because if it's a Facebook post, for instance, it's going to put the picture on the top of it. Okay, so I get that. But here, if I was reading a blog, that's much nicer.
Yeah. So that's the sort of the objective. You write the blog, and then you share the blog to your Facebook community. So in here, we've got the heading 1 tag, which, without getting too technical, there's 6 different heading tags, assuming that you're using WordPress, which most people are. I think we're up to 70% of the world are using WordPress. If you're using other websites, then you can utilize that.
Look, I'm going to make a confession here. And on the Brisbane Small Business site, when you post a blog up, you've only got 4 levels of heading structures.
You mean you can't use heading 5 and 6?
No, you've only got 4. Sorry about that.
Damn. I think that I've only used heading 5 once in my entire career. So, yeah, not a bad thing. So, yeah, we want to be doing heading 1, and then we've got a heading 2, and then we've got a heading 2. So these are basically different sections introducing different topics. And then this one's a heading 3 because it relates to this authentic content.
Yeah, so you're heading 3. So a next level down heading is related to the one above it, but not necessarily to any of the other ones.
Yeah, so basically we're looking at nesting dolls, right? We've got a heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, all the way through.
Kevin is heading 2.
Yeah.
He's the only one I know.
So then you can see that you've got this topic. So it introduces a topic, and then you introduce the study, and you can link out to this study as well. So external links. I think I'm introducing too much in there, but that's the supporting evidence. And then you've got the linking, which is the authentic presenter. So then you've got, see how that works?
Yep.
And it flows a lot nicer.
Yep.
So to try and help with that, hopefully that came in properly. I've actually created a template to help with that. Is that showing the template?
It is.
Good. So this I created to help me really create content quicker. And I found that a lot of my clients found this helpful as well. I haven't shared it with all of them, but some of them that do use it do find that it helps them create content quicker. So you've got the target keyword. Now, generally, you should only have a target keyword, 1 keyword per.
Okay. So let's I'll get you to describe what a keyword is a little better, because I've been confused about this for years. So should the target keyword be what we're calling it, or should it really be what people are going to search?
Should be what people are going to search. So how to make hand sanitizer is a keyword.
So that's one keyword, make hand sanitizer. Okay, I get that.
Mm-hmm. Or it could also be hand sanitizer. So it really depends on the intent. So where to buy hand sanitizer is another one. So that one's at a different stage in the customer journey, which I'm introducing more stuff. But yeah, where to buy hand sanitizer, how to make hand sanitizer, those are all queries that people search for, which are keywords that they're using.
So if we just use the keyword hand sanitizer, it would be it would incorporate those other 2 phrases anyway, yeah?
It can. It depends on whether you're using those specific terms within the content as well. Google is really, really smart. Their robots are really, really smart, but they still can't read. So we need to really spell it out to them.
Okay, can you explain that to me for a second, because that I'm not understanding. So if I have hand sanitizer as my keyword, I would have thought if people put in how to make hand sanitizer, then my hand sanitizer article would have come up in that as well.
So if we create that specifically, I'll just go through. So we'll have the title as everything you ever wanted to know about hand sanitizer.
Cool.
And then you've got heading 2 could be what is hand sanitizer.
Yep.
I'm going to spell it wrong here, but I don't care. Heading 3 could be how to make hand sanitizer. And then you could have another heading 2 down here as well, which could be where to buy it. And then you could have in here, say this is the where to buy it.
Yep, that's okay. Yep.
You could have, so Coles, Woolworths, and you would have better titles than that, but it gives you a general idea.
We get the point. So that's good. So moving along, so then we'll have under each portion, under each section, we could have subtitles, and that's really what headings 3 and so each section is one level of subtitle, but within them, if you've got a group of different ideas, then you group that under the next level of heading down. So that's cool. Yep.
Yeah, which goes back to that that nesting doll idea.
Absolutely.
So and you should always have a call to action, even if it's as simple as sort of subscribe to my blog or something like that.
Yep. Cool. So, and that is a really important point. So every blog should have a purpose, and the purpose should be your call to action at the end of it.
Mm.
Yeah. So without a purpose, what are you writing the blog for? Unless you are writing for something to purely entertain people. So Steve, so I get the nesting doll things, and the higher up things are, the more importance Google will place on them.
That's right. Yeah. Yep.
The phrases. Yeah. Okay. So I get that. The next thing that confuses me a little bit is I've been in trouble from you before for having more than one heading 1.
Yeah. So Google says that it's fine to have multiple heading 1s, but what I've found is they have equal weight. So if I have everything you ever wanted to know about hand sanitizer,
mm-hmm.
and then a heading 1 of what is hand sanitizer,
yeah,
then what I've found is Google's robots will go through and it'll go, all right, well, it's about this.
Yep.
But it's actually about this as well. So it gets confused as to which one is more important, whereas doing this structure instead helps the robots out by saying, all right, well, this is what it's all about, and this is a part of what this overall article is about.
So because the robots are confused about what you're really talking about, it doesn't promote you overly well.
That's what I've found, yeah.
Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah, so a simple lesson of marketing: if you're confused, you lose. So make sure you don't confuse Google. Very first person not to confuse.
Yeah,
fantastic. What's the next thing?
Next thing is internal links. So this is a little bit of a confusing topic, but I'll try and make it as simple as possible. So basically, you've got your site structure. So you've got your homepage, you've got your services pages, and then you've got your blog articles. Under there, theoretically. So this is what good site structure should look like. It's all nice and neat, and it's got supporting blog articles linking back to that service page. Half of the time, it doesn't look like this. You generally have the home page linking out to all of the service pages, and then you've got a blog post that doesn't link to anything, and it just sort of sits there in a blog and does nothing at all. So what you really want to be doing is having that home page which links to your service page, and that service page links to the blog article.
Yep.
And then the blog article links back to the service page as well. And I meant to add it in here. I actually nicked this from someone else. I have credited them in the thing as well. It's probably white down there.
So what we're saying is we've got our homepage that links to our service page. We might have 3 different blogs under that service page. Is that right?
That are related to that service. Yep.
That are related to that service. And so each of them will relate back and tag, basically link to that particular service page.
Yeah. And then link to each other as well. So this one will link to this one will link to this one and this one. And so they're all nicely linked. So that
what so many articles have in them. You may also be interested in blah, blah, blah with hyperlinks in them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. So you start to get this sort of a structure. So this is your service page, and then you've got a supporting page here. So this is a blog post about what hand sanitizer is. This is a post about how you can make your own. This is a blog post about how to make pizza, and you don't really know why that's there. But yeah, generally, these all support the service page, which then you can create external backlinks from other websites to this article here. That way, it's valuable, which then passes on authority to this service page, and then you can create different backlinks to this page, which then promotes the authority to this page.
Yep. Great. Okay. I think I've got that. You're starting to lose me a little bit there, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to end
How about you create a longer webinar for people, okay, and promote it on your directory listing, and then we'll share it into the group over the weekend so that people can come and do a webinar with you and learn a bit more about this.
That sounds like a great idea, yeah, because it is a simple concept, but it's also, I think that I complicate things sometimes.
Yes, and just like having very sound structure in your blogs, you need to have very sound structure in your presentations, which is all cool. Look, it has been really informative. So the key points that I get is have one really clear purpose, and that's your keyword, yeah? Within your keyword, or from that keyword, you might have 5 different components about that make up that. You might have 5 steps. Within your steps, you may have sub-steps, yeah? And then you'll come back to the major steps. So each step is a heading 2, and your subsets are your heading 3. And so on and so forth further down. Within your article, if you want to have that cluster scenario, you'll actually have a little piece. If you're interested in this, you might also be interested in these other 3 blogs that I've written with hyperlinks to them.
Yeah, it's better if you naturally put them through the content, though. Introducing them in the content itself is better. Even
better if you can do that. But if you're not, if you're not crafty enough to do that, if you're someone like me, then you might just make it really obvious and clunky. But that's okay. It's still better than not being there.
Yeah, it's better to link to other articles. Yeah.
Yeah, the one and look. That's helped me understand a little bit more about the structures. So thanks very much for that. It really is important that you have one core focus in your business, and that Google knows you have one core focus, because when Google knows you have one core focus, it's more likely to send more people to you. That's one thing that I found in doing the Brisbane Small Business site, is as soon as we had one core focus and we were very clear on what that was, that's when all of a sudden we started to rank. Up until then, we were kind of, we knew what we wanted to be about, but we're kind of about everything instead of being, hey, here's a directory of members or directory of small business owners. And as soon as we started making sure that small business was a key focus, then we started ranking for small business.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't be everything to everyone.
So we still have a long way to go, and I appreciate that, but we're started. Now, Steve, thanks very much for that. We'll have a chat after we get off here, and we'll get a link that we'll put down below very, very soon about how you can find out more about writing a compelling content piece that ranks really well with Google.
Great.
Excellent. Okay, thanks, mate. Thanks for the chat today.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
That's okay. Really appreciate it.